So for those of you that want to come to Chicago, let it be known that there is multiple ways to get down here if you do not want to stay in the Chicago city thereof. There is the electric line, which comes from the south and east suburbs. There's also Union Station, and there's also LaSalle Station. The Metro runs 7 days a week. Schedule is available online at metrornr.com. And it is very cost affordable. If you choose to stay downtown, there's an abundance of places to stay, and there's no need for a car down here, as you have Ubers, Lyfts, taxi service, and the bus service. So plan accordingly, but know you have many options to choose from. And now we're going to make our way across to the different museums: the Shedd Aquarium, Soldier Field, and the planetarium. So follow along. So here we are now. We made it to the Field Museum of Natural History, which is roughly located at 13th and Lakeshore Drive. 13th is also known as Roosevelt Road. And next to the museum is the Shedd Aquarium. Just a little bit south of here is the iconic Soldier Field, which, if any of you are familiar with it, now looks like a spaceship because they put the dome around the existing old Chicago structure. There's Lake Michigan and the view of the skyline from the museum front lawn. And out there in the distance, which we'll be walking to, is the iconic Navy Pier. As we take you on this epic journey today, I hope you hit the like and subscribe button, as we'll continue to try to bring you guys and gals to some exciting places. So please, like and subscribe. Send it to your friends, send it to your family. So if you parked over in the South Loop area, directly across from Soldier Field, you have a couple different things that you get to see there. The McCormick Place, which is a big convention center where a lot of people from all over the country come to for different symposiums and whatnot. You have Soldier Field right next to it. You have the Museum of Natural History. You have the Shedd Aquarium, and you have the Adler Planetarium. That's all located in the South Loop. That's all within about a half mile of each other. and it's all within walking distance. You could spend almost an entire day down here between museums, aquariums, planetariums, and lakefront, and not even hit the city. There's a lot to do here. We're going to try to give you all of it, and we hope you enjoy it. I apologize for the wind in the video, guys, but it is Chicago, and it is known as the Windy City. So far, we've hit the Adler Planetarium, Soldier Field, Museum of Natural History, and the Shedd Aquarium. And as you can see, we are now making our way along the Lakeshore Boardwalk towards the beautiful city of Chicago, where we'll be ending up over there as our next stop, which is going to be Navy Pier. Navy Pier is also an iconic venue to go to for food, bars, and entertainment. And I don't know if you can see it from here, but the world famous Ferris wheel at Navy Pier. During the spring and summer months here in Chicago, they offer a lot for you to do if you are less than active. They do have the architectural river tour, the water taxi one way, and also the water taxi round trip, which allows you to see different parts of Chicago via the waterway and the lakefront, which gives you a different perspective and a different vantage point. Out here in Chicago, they also have the cruise line ships, which you'll be seeing here over at Navy Pier, which I'll talk more about later. They also have an old English style sailboat ship. And if you're an adrenaline junkie, they also have cigarette boats that go extremely fast. So we'll show you all those as we make our way towards Navy Pier and take it from there. So here we are, about 3 miles in on our journey today. Not sure how long we're going to go. We had thought about going all the way to Lincoln Park Zoo, but well, hell, we're already 3 miles in and not even the Navy Pier yet. The city of Chicago here is a city of energy. As you walk the lakefront, they not only have biking lanes, they also have running lanes. And as you see, we are bundled up, hat and gloves, with hand warmers. But yet you're going to see people out here constantly running, walking, jogging, biking. It doesn't matter if it's winter here, spring, summer, or fall. It is definitely a city of energy. So far, we've made our way from the South Loop, and we're coming up onto the iconic Navy Pier. As you see from the boats in front of us, those are your shoreline cruises, where you can actually take an architectural boat ride to see the different skyline and features that Chicago has to offer. As you make your way down the Lakeshore Trail, you will see Navy Pier. Inside here, there is food, entertainment, bars, beverages, bathrooms, and actually a botanical garden. It's a good place to stop, grab some food, rest your legs for a bit, and partake in some good Chicago style food. Be it pizza, be it the Chicago style Polish, or the famous red hot hot dogs. Chicago style like there is no other. All right. All right, so we are now at Navy Pier, and as you walk in the doors, the first thing you're going to see is Harry Caray's Tavern. Harry Caray is famous for being in Chicago, announcer for the Chicago Cubs, and the best pizza around you have Giordano's famous stuffed pizza. This is Navy Pier. It is a bunch of shops, a bunch of eateries, and a bunch of bars. I won't video cam the whole inside of this place, but it is definitely a place to warm up, a place to grab good food, and a place to rest your feet for a little bit. So we decided to take a step out from being inside Navy Pier because we are too overly dressed to be in the heat. So we're going to show you the Navy Pier boardwalk. As you can see up there, there's the famous Ferris wheel of Navy Pier. I'm going to show you the skyline looking southward. Actually where we came from. So we were all the way up there. Chicago has a very beautiful skyline. A lot of different architectural. And it's pretty overall nice. So we will continue to make our way this way. As you can see the fancy boat there in front of us. That is one of those luxury cruises where it's a cruise, dinner and beverages for a certain fee. It's a couple-hour tour. We've been there and done that before. It's fun, it's entertaining. And believe it or not, the structure you see in front of us is a Hilton hotel that was built onto Navy Pier. This used to be all commercial, non-residential. Small shops, mirror mazes, stuff of that nature. But Hilton has now come along and purchased some rights and built a hotel out here on Navy Pier. So overall, the length of Navy Pier is probably a good 700-800 yards long. It is all commercialized. It is all stuff for family, entertainment, and beverages. But in the summer, it's a good place to come and sit and enjoy the beautiful lakefront that you see in front of us. That boat in front of you right there is the Odyssey of Lake Michigan. That is the boat that we went on. We're at the end of Navy Pier and the boardwalk. And this round circular building part of Navy Pier is actually a very big hall that people come spend extravagant amount of money on and host their wedding here at the end of Navy Pier. You can see there's benches, chairs, some ottoman type stuff around here. It's beautiful to come here in the spring and summer and just enjoy the cool lake breeze. There's a cool lighthouse out there I'd like to show you. But unfortunately drones aren't allowed on Navy Pier, so I can't fly out there for you. But I did want to show you the beautiful skyline that Chicago has. Even on a dreary, cold day like today, the different architecture that you could see is abound. All right. So we decided to take a view from above. We're actually on top of Navy Pier as we speak, checking out the beautiful Chicago skyline and the iconic Ferris wheel here at Navy Pier. If I'm not mistaken, these buildings right here is where Oprah Winfrey lives, or at least that's one of her residences. It's amazing how they can build these structures on such a small footprint and go so high into the sky. So we've decided to take a detour after leaving Navy Pier, and we're gonna head westward into the city, where we're gonna actually go onto the Chicago River Walk. It's open from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. It has ADA accessibility. Kind of tells you the rules behind it. So here we go. We're gonna make our way onto the Chicago River Walk. It's been a while since I've been down here. Actually, these mosaics kind of give you a history about Chicago. This one's dating back to 1889, 1892, and 1900. And I'm not going to show you every single one of them, but from the Adler Planetarium in 1931 to Buckingham Fountain in 1926. From 1933, a century of progress for Chicago's 100th birthday. There was a World's Fair which focused on science and industry. So a small little tunnel leading to the boardwalk / river walk, but gives you a little history about Chicago and how it grew and what it came to be today. And so we begin. So a little touristy information for you. If you come here and you're in the spring and summer, fall months, they actually have a couple kayaking tours which you could buy online, I believe, on Groupon, which they do a kayaking tour through the Chicago River, which one gives you an architectural tour up close and personal, or they also do a gangster tour, which is a pretty, Chicago has a pretty iconic criminal history behind it with the Chicago mob, Al Capone, bootlegging of alcohol, and believe it or not, we did that iconic kayak tour. I believe there was probably about 25 people on it, and the people that hosted it were phenomenal. 25 people, 15 minutes, and they had all of our names memorized. How they did that, we'll never know. And as you can see from the front right there, that big building right there, which I'll zoom in on for you, that there is the iconic Trump Tower of Chicago. I don't know if you can see his name through the tree or not, but that is Trump Towers. So along the Riverwalk, most shops are currently closed as they are local little eateries and bars, in addition to kayak rental, stuff along those lines. But there's also places to sit and little areas for kids to play. The Riverwalk here in Chicago has come a long way. And based on this map, you'll see. So there's a lot of stuff to usually do down here. As I previously discussed with you, there's that water taxi, which saves you the walking distance if you don't want to. Sorry. Chicago, beautiful city, a lot to offer. So we left Navy Pier and we decided to take the Riverwalk, which you can see below, which we then took the stairs up, and we are now on the iconic Michigan Avenue. As you can see, we are right by Trump Towers, as he puts his name on everything. And we are now going to make our way into the Magnificent Mile. The building you see in front of me is the old Chicago Tribune and the WGN News Radio building. And then we have the old building next to it, which is the old Wrigley building. Wrigley Chewing Gum, Juicy Fruit, Big Red, Double Mint. As you walk, we have all this traffic traveling down Michigan Avenue. You can feel the ground and the bridge move underneath your feet. Kind of like, whoa. But what you see in front of us is what they call Michigan Avenue. It roughly goes from here, which is Wacker Drive, all the way down to Oak Street, which is where you'll have Oak Street Beach if you want to get your tan on or play some volleyball or drink some brew. Along Michigan Avenue, you have stores and high-rises on both sides. You have a bunch of high-end stores, from Burberry to Gucci to Coach. But our favorite restaurant, which we'll share with you all, it's called the Grand Lux Cafe. And we'll be going there shortly and showing you the exquisite menu that they have, the good food and the good portions. So for now, we'll continue our walk down the Mag Mile. What you see before us is a landmark here in the city of Chicago. In addition to the building that is adjacent to it. These are one of several structures that were left after the Chicago fire. They've been historically preserved. People come from around the world to see. Wrapping up the day, guys. I'm gonna show the nighttime skyline of Chicago and beautiful Buckingham Fountain, which currently is not operational due to the cold temperatures. Hope you enjoyed the hike today. Remember, hit that like and subscribe button because it doesn't cost you a thing. Enjoy and have a great day.